Watching the story from a number of vantage points, we spoke to you earlier on about the heavy security presence that's here, and I tell you what, just even as I glance over my shoulder, I can tell you that you don't have to look far to spot police who are also present here from the moment you arrive at this venue, right down to the security checks, to where we are as the media. I need to also add that the stakes are so high that the entrances aren't the same. So where we entered, I have no doubt, is certainly different to when Nhlanhla will ultimately arrive, but we've got our cameras nonetheless stationed for you at those strategic points to catch the man as he makes his way in just about, what is it now, just under 40 minutes or so. Ofentse Setimo is also here, our senior reporter, watching the situation from a different vantage point. Ofentse, help us place where you are and what you can see there.
Absolutely, and a good morning to you, Ayanda. Well, I can tell you that we are at Gate 4 of the Bridget Mabandla Justice College, where this particular commission will definitely be taking place. We were expecting a hive of activity here outside the commission, where members of the public were expected to gather here and to contest some of the issues that they had with the particular commission. We know that one of the issues that has been bandied about was the issue of the 700 million, which they said was going to be the cost, but eventually it was actually, reduced to a much lesser cost. As we know that there was an outcry of people actually saying that that money could have been used for better. But we know that uMkhonto weSizwe here in Gauteng will also be opposed to this particular commission. In fact, there is an urgent application in court which will be taking place tomorrow and on Friday, where we will hear the outcome of that hearing as to whether this particular commission will proceed or not. And when we were listening to even the spokespeople of this particular commission, they were saying that they are on standby for the outcome of that court ruling, just to find out what actually happens, and that they will respect the outcome of that court ruling, where uMkhonto weSizwe has actually, applied to halt this particular commission. But on my immediate left, you'll see that there is the spokesperson for uMkhonto weSizwe in Gauteng, Mr. Abel Tau, who's currently briefing the media. Let's listen in briefly.
And I can tell you now that he knows where he should go, which is to the police directly.
How confident are you in terms of tomorrow's case and the matter in court?
Look, it is telling that the Judge Madlanga is starting this commission today. It is because we believe that they are aware that we have a very strong case that we'll be presenting tomorrow and on Friday. And for that reason, we want to say to South Africans that in a time when everyone else is compromised one way or the other and everyone is in each other's sheets, uMkhonto weSizwe wants to stand firm for the people of this country. We believe that we've entered a very dangerous terrain, and because we are the only ones that are not entangled one way or the other, then we are the ones who can stand. So we are quite confident that the judge will hear us, and our prayers will be met favorably, and this commission and the waste of the 147 million plus will be halted and sanity will prevail.
Absolutely. And what are some of the contentions that you have? I might have missed the first part of your media briefing, but what are the contentions that you have with this particular commission?
Look, we contend that Minister Mkhunu, as implicated, should have been fired. We don't have to spend 147 million to decide whether or not he should be charged. We believe that irrespective of who you are, the Constitution dictates that we are all equal before the law, and everyone should face the full might of the law. Minister Mkhunu is no exception. In fact, we believe that Cyril Ramaphosa should have demonstrated his resolve in fighting crime and criminality, organized crime, and all forms of crime in this case. But obviously, it was important for him to dispense patronage at the expense of taxpayers in the form of this commission, and probably try to whitewash what has happened and the allegations that are made. We believe that a competent body would have been a court of law, where everyone who is implicated can prove whether or not the allegations are true or false. This is just but one of those where the President Cyril Ramaphosa is trying to kick down to kick to touch to make sure that those that are closest to him are protected.
You believe it's just window dressing and there won't be any consequences following the 100 million that you mentioned that it's going to cost?
Look, I can tell you now that we are not going to get anything. There has never been a time where recommendations from commissions such as these ones have ever been followed up. I can also tell you that the timelines that were set are not going to be met, because this is South Africa. The president is hoping to keep us busy long enough that we forget. But one of those messages that must be made very clear to the president is that we are not going to forget, we are not going to get busy, we are not going to get distracted. We are going to see this through. Minister uMkhonto should face the full might of the law. We believe that General uMkhonto has alluded to the fact that there is prima facie evidence. People must be charged and people must go to court and people must defend themselves there.
Some of the allegations that were raised by General uMkhonto fingered the courts as well. So what makes you think that if this matter is taken to court, will be resolved? Don't you think the commission is much better?
No, the commission cannot be much better. When you are having a compromised judiciary with nothing to lose, I mean, in a situation such as this one, Judge Madlanga is a retired judge. He's part of the system that is alleged to be compromised. So you can tell that there's nothing that would come out, at least in a court where the judgment is binding. You can take that judgment to a review, you can take it to the next level, and obviously there is recourse. With a commission such as this one, honestly, there isn't much recourse except that we will be advised what to do probably after 6 months, and then we then as South Africans are put in a situation where they are hoping that we forget and move on, which is what is happening. This is just a smoke screen to try and whitewash what has happened, and we should never allow that to happen in our watch.
Absolutely. Well, as you can hear, that's uMkhonto weSizwe, Gauteng Spokesperson, actually elaborating on the contestation that they have with this particular commission, saying that it would have been better if it was actually in a court of law where they would actually, discuss some of the issues that were actually raised by the KZN police commissioner. We will definitely try and follow proceedings also at court, try to find out as to what will be the outcome of an application by uMkhonto weSizwe as to what will definitely be happening from here on. I'd like to hand over to my colleague in studio. Colleague, it's over to you.
Ofentse Setimo on that story there for us. Thank you so much. That's Ofentse Setimo. Of course, as the countdown continues to the start of that Madlanga Commission, their reaction continues to pour in thick and fast. In the meantime, thank you so much also to Ayanda Ngati, Kenny Mapanga, as well as politics editor Mzwandile Mbeje, watching all fronts for us. We'll be hearing from them in just a moment right here on the program. Let's take you now to other stories.